Welcome everybody. Today we're talking about reviewing professional practice. It's a real program that we taught last term. It was a HSC program, so that we can all in turn get our own programs and evaluate our own programs. My name's Des Ball. We're at St Philip's Christian College. I am the coordinator of the humanities subjects in the senior school. First of all, how do we evaluate our practice? What are we looking for?
Your assessment.
Would that be a criteria, or would that be a tool by which we use to measure our criteria?
If you set your assessment and then set your program which will then meet or guide the students to meet the assessment,
Yep.
that it would be a part of your professional practice to have that assessment that fits.
Okay. What about along the way? When we were a smaller school a number of years ago, this used to happen much more frequently. Now that we're bigger, I'd noticed that this evaluation wasn't happening casually and informally anymore, and that it needed to be formalised.
What about appropriate, I know you've got outcomes,
Yeah.
but appropriate teaching and learning strategies for a specific group?
So, in particular, professional practice, given that group of students. Once we've got our criteria together, I'll give our staff members a bunch of documentation that they can use to gain data to evaluate that unit of work. And then together against our criteria that we've discussed that meets the teaching standards, we'll talk about what worked well and get evidence for that, and then what needs modification. And then finally, to finish up, we'll talk about what needs to happen in the future in terms of programming and what needs to happen in terms of classroom practice to make things better. So, let's start off where I feel safer with what worked well. Okay, what evidence is there in there that there is good professional knowledge and practice of the teacher?
The use of tables and tabulating information to compartmentalise the information for the kids to learn.
Yep.
And a few times of mind mapping as well, so they could explore ideas.
What about productive learning environment? I was surprised by how well it went. I was a bit concerned that people wouldn't feel confident in evaluating a unit of work and really giving it a strong critique. What needs modification in terms of professional knowledge and practice of the teacher, do you think?
One of the things that concerns me a little bit, not with this program, with my own programs, is the number of outcomes we put for every topic that we're teaching.
Yeah.
So I wonder if in our programs we need to be a little bit more precise in what we anticipate this particular unit will assess.
Yep, so a stronger focus on fewer outcomes in each topic.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wrote down student feedback and appraisal.
Of course.
We haven't got any evidence of that.
Any evidence of that. Where should we put that? Engagement?
Isn't there a sheet for
There is
student
now.
evaluation?
There is. Not attached to this one. Yeah.
That's
so
okay.
I'm also hoping to see that student engagement will improve slowly over the years, and I'm hoping that teachers' programs will become more dynamic and innovative and more geared to their students in their classroom that year than they were the year before. I think we can see that there's been nothing negative about an evaluative review. I'd like us over the next 12 months for all of us to bring something to the group and just using this criteria for evaluation and talking about what worked well and talking about what we can do better next year. All right, thanks everybody.
Thank you.
How can you support colleagues to evaluate teaching programs directed at improving professional knowledge and practice? How can you support colleagues to develop learning programs to reflect an understanding of the needs of their students?